Welcome back to Mac's Garage. If you like what you see here today, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, all those good buttons that help me out. I appreciate your help. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is electronic throttle pedal controls and why a lot of people are wasting their money buying a box that you can literally just step on the pedal harder and get the same results. So I'm going to go through a wiring diagram, show you how the system works, and show you how people are wasting money on a product that literally does the exact same thing you can do with your right foot. Alright, so on this whiteboard I have drawn out the computer system over here, the APP or accelerator pedal position sensor over here, and then the throttle body up at the top. So in order to make this easy to follow, I reordered where the stuff is at inside of each one of these systems, just so I could draw simpler lines. So like the throttle body, this is not really the order they go in. This is the wiring diagram to I think it was a 2008 Dodge Charger with a 5.7 Hemi. But more or less, this is kind of what you'll see with a lot of your drive-by wire systems, which means there's no longer a cable that connects this throttle pedal to your throttle body anymore. These really started to come around in the early 2000s as a commonplace thing. So let's say by maybe like 2005, I would say most new cars sold had this system on them. In fact, I can't really think of any that didn't. There probably is one or two, but this was more or less how cars were being built by 2005. And it is how every car I can think of is being built today. So the PCM over here has, if you follow the wiring diagram, the PCM has direct connection to the throttle body in a lot of different ways. So if you come over to the APP, your accelerator pedal position sensor, they basically kind of cut right here. So everything above this goes to the throttle body, everything below it goes to the pedal. The only wire they share is this 5-volt supply reference. And if you see this dashed line, that means it goes to a bunch of other stuff too, but I didn't show it to you. So we've got, that is our only wire that those two systems share in common. So the way this system works, and I'm going to kind of cover this up because I want to just set the PCM there. That PCM is not out of a Dodge. The throttle pedal and throttle body are though. So basically what happens is when you step on the gas pedal in one of these type of vehicles, this is mounted to your firewall, your foot is right there. When you step on this, there are two sensors, signal and return 1 and 2. So inside of here are two sensors. They use two so you don't get a false reading and have your car take off like Toyotas did, whenever that was, 2010-ish, something like that. We had the runaway Toyota problem. So in these systems, they have a default backup, and if they see a problem, then they shut the system down. It goes into limp mode, and you can't go very fast, but you also don't have a runaway car. So inside of here are two sensors, and when you step on them, they talk to the computer. So as you step on this computer, or as you step on this pedal, the computer for the vehicle, the engine computer, the PCM, is looking at what the accelerator pedal is doing. So if you go wide open throttle, then this sees 100% throttle, and it knows that you want to go as fast as possible. Now when it knows you want to go as fast as possible, what it does is it opens up this throttle blade to let the maximum amount of air in, and it does that through ECT, electronic throttle control plus and minus. So that runs the motor inside of here. The reality is that when you go 100% throttle off of a stoplight, it doesn't immediately open wide open. It kind of gradually opens in as the engineers have determined is the best way for this thing to go to wide open throttle. So even though you're saying, I want 100% throttle, I want this thing wide open, the computer can be a little bit slow about it. Now the way that they determine how far to open that throttle blade is through the percentages it sees out of this throttle. So if you open it halfway, then it sees 50% reading from APP1 and APP2, and it says, okay, so this person wants to accelerate at 50% maximum rate. Okay, so hopefully you're following with me so far. This is an input. This is your computer that takes in all the data, and then this thing is the output. So the computer decides what to do with the data it sees from this gas pedal. Now, I'm not going to call these companies out by name. There's a couple of them that make them. But what they claim is faster vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's not possible. If you bring me one of those systems and meet me at a drag strip, I will put it in one of my vehicles and make runs back to back to prove that there is absolutely no difference in actual vehicle full throttle performance between one that has the throttle, I don't even know what to call them without calling them by name, the gas pedal general, maybe, whatever. Yeah, so what they do is they come in here and at this plug, so this plug has 6 wires on it. You unplug this 6-wire plug, you plug their thing in. Now, I'll just go ahead. I've got this other computer. This is an older JTech computer. But really, I'm going to be honest with you, the product that they sell likely has quite a bit of engineering that goes into it to make it function properly. Now, I'm showing you this because I don't believe it really does anything beneficial to the vehicle that you can't do by just stepping on the gas pedal harder. But there is a lot of engineering that goes into making that module that you plug in. So what happens is you basically add another step. So instead of these wires being plugged into your APP like they were before, your APP now plugs into this other module, and that other module connects into your computer. Now, there's lots of people on the internet that are going to watch this and say, but my truck's so much faster, my car's so much faster, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's what happens. You step on this pedal taking off from a light, and if you're a normal human being and don't drive like me, then you probably step on this thing like 20 to 25%. What that does is it takes your 20 to 25%, puts it into this thing, and instead of doing a 20 or 25% to the computer, like your gas pedal would have, it says, this person wants 100% throttle. So it starts off with really high throttle opening. So it starts off as really high throttle opening, and then as time goes on, it actually backs it back out to where you're back to that like 25% range again. So all this thing does is you move your pedal that much, that's 20-25%, it takes care of doing this for you. What your computer sees you do instead of doing that 20 to 25% is the computer sees wide open throttle and then slowly backing off until you get kind of back to that cruise RPM of the 20 to 25%. That's what's going on. That's the magic in that box. Now there are different settings on them. So maybe instead of going right to 20 or 25%, it starts out at maybe 10% and slowly builds its way up to that 25%, making it a more gradual increase in speed. So does this box do anything? Yes. It screws with the signal that is being sent to your computer. Do they cause check engine lights, drivability problems, all that good stuff? Sometimes, because it screws with the signal that is being sent to the computer, and this is a very sensitive circuit as far as tampering goes because of issues like Toyota's runaway cars. They don't want any problems in this circuit, so they monitor it very closely. Now, Is there anything that's being done in this box that a good driver with solid right foot control can't manage themselves? No. If you want it to run like it's got one of these things in there and set up on a performance tune, quit being a wuss. Slam the gas pedal to the floor every single light. You'll get the same results. Slam it to the floor, slowly back it off. So that's all they're doing. Is that worth $300? I'm not your accountant. I don't know what kind of money you've got to play with on stuff like this. Would I put one of these in my vehicle and test it just to see what it does? I'm not paying $300 to do it. And probably not, because honestly I really like the way my car and truck respond to the gas pedal. So I don't know. I don't see a point to it. But that's it. So that's kind of a crash course in how electronic throttle controls work and what some of the products being sold on the market today, performance products, do to cause your vehicle to feel faster or slower depending on what setting you put them on. Again, if you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later.